Awesome. Welcome back. I hope everyone's having a good evening. We are joined with me, Cat named Virtue, and Ipangu. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing? I'm excited to be commentating some late night Melee.
I know it's really cool to have this evening slot. I know I'm over on the West Coast, so it's like prime time, 8 p.m. Chilling over here.
I always like to joke that after I moved to the East Coast, I just never reset. I've been on West Coast time for the last since I moved forever. I've been on West Coast time forever. I never moved off of it.
That's impressive. Let's introduce some of these teams, though. These are huge crews today. So this is a 7v7 Smash Sisters Cruise event. With the first team led by Bonfire 10, also joined by Chia, like the Samus player, Kiki, Pax Money Hulk Hogan, Kezup, Pet Bud, and Devil May Cats.
Yeah.
And who's on our second team today?
Second team is going to be led by ex-girlfriend, Peach player, and then we also got MSP, Cinna, Big Meat Gamer, $$, $$, $$.
I love that.
And Ooh Mystical Girl. And I love the character breakdown between these two teams. From what we know, there is a single Spacey on these two teams.
Yeah, and I love it because the team who you mentioned, that team has an Ice Climbers, like 2 or 3 Puffs, 2 Peach. So that team is going to be super floaty. The other team is a little bit more diverse, like with a Ganondorf and some Sheik players. But it's not a lot of Spaceys, that's for sure.
No.
Few fast fallers to be seen.
Yeah, we also have some people where we don't know exactly what characters they've logged in for this. So I'm assuming that the other team knows, but I'm perfectly happy with us not knowing because it gives us a little bit of a extra special spice to surprise us later on in the night.
Yeah, totally. It's a really big wild card depending how some of these go. Oh, and speaking of which, looks like they picked their first people. It's Big Meat Gamer, a Peach player, versus Kiki, one of the Sheik players on this team.
Yeah, I know that you guys, the viewers, have probably been seeing this for 12 hours now, if not more. But God, the transitions are so slick on this stream. They look
they are. Good. It looks so good.
It's awesome.
So looks like right now they're just getting it set up, I'm imagining, for the overlay, so you can see the total stocks on each team. You can ignore that 3 little game counter there. They're going to start adding some stuff over there, and we're jumping right in.
Yep. Okay, Sheik Peach. This can be a rough matchup for the princess.
Yeah, it can certainly be. I've heard many a Peach player complain about the matchup, so...
Yeah. It was, Willie P? Do you know Willie P, the North Carolina Peach, New York Peach? He's a good friend of mine, and he was saying the other day that he genuinely feels like this matchup is worse for Peach than Peach Marth, which I think is absurd, but just goes to show how frustrating it can be.
I definitely feel that. I don't know if he feels the same way about it now, but in Oregon, our best Peach player and a good friend of mine, Aura, is also been a big Peach complainer at one point. I don't know if he feels that same way now. Because we definitely used to bond over the fact that we both hated this character.
I've talked to Derek about that. He hates Sheik. He hates Sheik.
He does still hate Sheik. I was like, it's been a little while since I've heard it, so I don't know. I do love that Big Meat Gamer is trying to get in some of the fancy stuff here. We saw that little moonwalk there, that created that opening that ultimately led to the edge guard too.
Yeah, that was an interesting stock because it really looked rough for Big Meat Gamer for the first 80 to 100%. With Kiki just able to rack up the damage so quickly. And then Kiki was running into trouble getting the kill confirm, and Big Meat Gamer was really able to tack it on. I also, the movement from Big Meat Gamer right now is really sick. The forward tilt conversion also making my night right now.
Yeah, Zane, I think that's something we can't ignore. While it looks like Kiki is keeping amazing momentum and good pressure, Big Meat Gamer's got amazing platform movement here, and just a lot of little movement tricks that are keeping me kind of thrown off too. What are you going for?
I agree. Some of them seem like movement tricks with not that much threat behind them, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's movement for the sake of movement. And so I want to see Big Meat Gamer start to actually use those movement tricks to get a move out there too,
Yeah, 100%. I think everybody knows that there's always some Ganon player, Yoshi players especially, that they're just doing this crazy movement with no purpose behind it. And you want to see it do some damage, right?
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, that looked like a really simple conversion where Big Meat Gamer got that stock off of just sort of a float-in nair. But that float-in nair is not something that you expect after seeing them, do float double jump land or double jump cancel like 16 times in a row. To just float in with that little safe nair was I think, actually pretty unexpected for me.
Yeah, totally.
Still really, really even, though.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, that power shield was actually so important.
It was. It feels like whoever's been getting these openings here, like, anytime they're able to, like, get away with something in these, like, mid-percents, something really nasty happens and a stock is usually lost. I don't know how Big Meat Gamer's going to close out one of these stocks from these neutral openings without just something like those nairs like that.
Yeah. Sends Kiki the other way. Kiki has one more chance. Down smash the other way. This is going to be hard.
One more chance.
Oh, wow. Got the jump back. All right. Oh, grab. Okay, there we go. Up there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So much damage. So much damage. If Big Meat Gamer can close this out here, it's a huge swing. Edge canceled turnip is so sick.
Real. Kiki, more than anything right now, might just be saying, if I can get this stock here, then we're starting off this crew battle okay. Having a 3 to 4 game is not the worst thing in the world. And there you go.
Kiki's movement there, this might do it right here, unless Big Meat Gamer tries to make it too fancy, which, yep, that's what's gonna happen. But Kiki actually got that stock with some fancy movement of their own. They did that little waveland off of the ledge of Pokemon Stadium into the fair, so it's the tricksy stuff that's mattered. Yeah, that'll do it.
That was clean. Just a good option to say, hey, get out of here. Big Meat Gamer actually, to my surprise, said, hey, for this last stock, I'm not going to make it too fancy. I'm just going to actually end it this time.
Yeah, exactly. I think after about the last 3 attempts to make it cool, Big Meat Gamer was like, okay, I've had enough. That always feels so bad too, because you end up tacking on extra percent trying to make it cool, and then the amount of ways you can make it cool dwindles because of the extra percent, and you're like, well, now I just look like a fool.
Yeah, things that convert become like less and less likely or possible, and you end up going, what's the coolest thing I can do now? Random charge F smash, which was tried.
Yeah,
like, we did see that.
It was. All right, so a 1 stock lead for, that's Team A, right? Or is it Team B?
I believe Big Meat Gamer is on the Peach team, right? Because the other team doesn't have a Peach.
Oh, you're right. It's the Peach team. God, the other team has no Peaches. It's really just, and they have no Puffs either.
No Puffs, 1 Ice Climbers. I don't know why we're thinking of this like in stocks of like, yes, you want all of the floaties. But yeah, it's kind of true. A lot of the floaties are all on that second team with a lot of sheep on the first team. So somehow this whole crew battlefield is going to break down to how much do any of these floaties like Sheik? And it seemed like starting off they did pretty good. They made a good statement too by sending in like a flashy player like that.
Yeah.
Who's coming next?
I mean, it's just 1 stock, right? So you ideally want to pick someone who can get rid of that stock and then just immediately get back to a neutral sort of advantage against everyone else. So
yeah, I think one of the scary things though is like when you have a matchup like Peach, right? You actually kind of don't want to be that tempted to send like, not that they have a character like Puff, like a hard counter, right? Because you're going to kind of waste that hard counter, right? You only really get it for the 1 stock, and now your counter actually is going to get counterpicked for a whole game.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Someone safe, right? Who can like, maybe we actually see Chia go in here with Samus or something.
Yeah, I could see Chia.
Kind of hard for them to counterpick.
I could also see Pet Bud, the Marth player, maybe, because Marth doesn't hate any of these matchups unless you're like the sort of Marth player that really hates Sheik or hates Puff or something.
Sure.
But with only 1 potential, we don't even know if Sin is going to play Fox or if Sin is going to play Ices or Puff. With only 1 potential Spacey on the other team, it's like you're not going to get a great matchup for the Marth player. So I feel like maybe using Marth here would be an okay idea.
I agree, actually. I think either of those are kind of the solid picks that they should go with. One thing that's weird to think about in crew battles too is like their team has a lot of Sheiks, so you might be tempted to like, oh, maybe we'll keep Sheik going but do you really want to play somebody who is just warmed up to it and prove that they could handle that threat? Like, you might not take that one stock as quickly as you'd like to, I think, too.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of Sheiks and a Marth. I mean, Sheik and Marth versus floaties that can typically be one of the banes of floaties. So I don't know. Although Sheik versus Puff,
some Sheiks like it, I guess. It feels dependent. I think it's pretty typically viewed as like Puff has an advantage in that. But in a crew battle setting too, things are really different for Jigglypuff, who like doesn't want to expend rest the same way. Like in a real match of singles, you don't care if you win by one stock, right? If you get punished every time as long as you're in the lead. Who cares? That really does make a difference in crews, though.
Yeah. Then again, take a look at the Team A lineup. It's Sheik, Samus, Sheik, Ganon, Icy's, Marth. None of those are characters who can just obliterate a Puff stock if she's resting right in front of them.
Yeah,
maybe Ganon, if like Ganon can stomp the Puff or Warlock punch the Puff.
That? A week ago, I played Hacks Money Hulk Hogan, the Ganon player, and that's who's coming in.
Right.
And he actually took me out 2-1 in a tournament. So she's pretty good and definitely comfortable versus Puff. So I wonder if they're kind of expecting a counter pick like that, and maybe they're trying to dwindle those counter picks with somebody who's comfortable with the possible outcome.
Yeah, using the Ganon against the Peach is so interesting. Do we know if there's bans in this or not? I assume there's not.
We probably won't know from this one, because I don't think there's like a very hard set here. Big Meat Gamer, I would assume, might not ban Yoshi's just because I bet she likes Yoshi's. I'll be honest.
Based on how she's playing, I actually feel
I wouldn't bet on it at least. But that's definitely where Ganon would probably want to go. So maybe it did happen, or or maybe there wasn't bans. They ended up going here anyway. Who knows?
There are bans. Thanks, cool. Austin. Okay, so we gotta assume Yoshi's got banned.
Okay, that makes sense. So Hacks Money Hulk Hogan here is really just looking to create something super quick, right? Like, you don't want to let Peach start building up and pops that could, ruin this for you. You want to try to clean this up, give pressure. Your stocks have a lot of value right now that you want this to come even. You really don't want to lose any extra stocks here.
That was a great whiff punish by Hacks Money Hulk Hogan, actually. It looked really simple, but being able to punish the turnip throw with that shield drop fair, pretty important there to get Big Meat Gamer off stage and start this whole sequence here. Ooh, the roll in. I don't know if I like that. Peach is so slow that she wasn't going to reach you on the other side of the stage if you roll away.
So that does stink that Hacks Money Hulk Hogan lost that stock, because now you have to go in at a disadvantage for when you're going to get counterpicked here in the first place. It might have only been one stock, but it makes such a big difference if you had 4 going in again, because now you're still a stock behind in the screw battle. Like, you didn't really clean that deficit.
Yeah, and now you assume that if you trade evenly, you're getting the less impactful counterpick every time. And so so it can really start to add up. Yeah.
Sooner or later, one of these players, though, is going to swing the shift in another way. It's all about when you're using your stronger players or your better counter picks. Like, somebody here is going to have a huge advantage. And once they come in, you might not have that chance to do it again, right? Like, both teams have a lot of strong players, but some of these matchups could be really brutal.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at Bonfire 10 lurking there. I know when Tori comes in, some explosive stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, she's really strong. A lot of players might not know Ex-Girlfriend either, but another Peach player on that second team, she's really, really quite good. She's putting a lot of these like stronger players in Smash Sisters in for a complete run for their money. So they might not be like ready to see Ex-Girlfriend take like 5, 6, or I think in the crew battle we played, she took like 8 or 9 stocks. Cleaned through some people. It was very impressive. I don't think anybody really expected it. And I don't know if they're ready for that in this crew battle either. So we'll have to see how they plan for that. And see who they send in to take these 3 stocks from Hacks Money Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I mean, none of these are... Ganon is bad, is my feeling right now. Ganon doesn't like any of these matchups. They're all not great.
There's so many Sheiks, too.
Yeah. It could be interesting, though. We could see if a Sheik goes in who doesn't know the Ganon matchup. Ganon does have some low % chain grabs on Sheik. Ganon has some low % true conversions on Sheik that can rack up % if you're not ready. So matchup knowledge might play a big deal in that if they do choose to counterpick with a Sheik. It's
I
still
agree.
obviously a Sheik favored matchup in like
Yeah,
9 ways for every one that Ganon
of
has, but
course. I get what you're saying. Do you think that it's possible that they send in, maybe not their strongest player to try to like make up now to keep the strongest players on the board, and maybe have a Sheik who can take out 3 stocks, and then keep Bonfire 10 like still in the bank or something?
well, Bonfire's on the same team as Hacks Money Hulk Hogan, right?
Oh, my
So
mistake on that.
yeah, yeah. So I think from Team B's perspective, we're assuming that ex girlfriend is probably their strongest player, and so I think I would assume that you don't send in ex girlfriend yet. I think you don't use it here.
I agree. We'll have to see who
Hmm.
they.
We also still don't know who Quad Dollar Sign plays.
Yeah, I didn't get that information earlier. It'll be a surprise for everyone.
Yeah. I was taking apart a new controller earlier so that I could take out the spring in the L button, which, guys, if you have not taken out the spring in your L button yet, please try it. Changes your life. And then I was playing with the spring because I have a very limited attention span, and it has rocketed off somewhere within my apartment, and I do not know where it's gone.
I'll find it one day, but probably not today.
Press
Do you,
1 if you've experienced this.
oof, dropped a button and then never been able to find it again? I think everybody's had that. If you open your controllers, you ever lost the screws that go in the back of the shell? Like one rolls off.
100%. One of my spare controllers over there is held together with 3 screws. It's just that's it.
That's so horrible. I don't know if any controller I've ever had has really had all its screws in. The one I currently have, it's pretty new. So this one still has its screws, but that won't last for long, I imagine.
Yeah. My God, I don't know. I must just have weak fingers, but once I take out the spring in my controller, it changes my game completely. Because I accidentally get analog press or light shield press every time.
Totally. Controllers are important. But they're not as important as a rough matchup. And it looks like they have opted to send in Melee Sad Post Cheek.
All right. All right. Oh, I didn't know that Trinity. Oh, MSP is Melee Sad Post.
Yeah. Oh, I do know her.
Oh, okay. This makes sense. This makes sense to me. Because Trinity is a strong, good level player, but also solid all-rounder player who, like,
Yeah.
you don't expect to get blown up in any one matchup. Like, this makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree totally too. So I start to wonder right now. I happen to notice we're on FD.
Yeah.
Is there a worse stage for Ganon than FD in this?
I don't feel like there is, to be honest. I'm wondering what was banned here.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about. I was like, I thought we just went over. There are bans, and this is a hard one to have to end up on.
Maybe Fountain, but this is terrible. Ganon has no platform movement. Once he gets grabbed, if Melee Sad Post wants to ever try and shark the jump like that instead, then Ganon just has no way to get down.
Yeah.
It can be really rough.
Maybe it's a really specific preference thing, right? Do you ever get like the Stockholm Syndrome for a matchup on your bad stage? Because you're like, well, I practice all the time.
Yeah.
That's me. I'll play Fox Puff as Jigglypuff, right? And I start going, you know what? I'm pretty comfortable on FD. I go there every set. Like, maybe it's not so bad.
Okay. That was the first grab that Trinity has gotten this entire game, and they've chosen to dash attack instead of grabbing a few times, where I think that grab might have led to a little bit more. I mean, hey, the one thing about FD is if you get a grab at center stage as Sheik, Ganon can still live for a pretty long time. Great air shield.
I think a lot of people underestimate Ganon's ability for recovery, and just survival is really the bigger part. The recovery to get back on the stage is pretty hard, but using the Wizard's Foot down B just to like get your jump back, you can really live for a long, long time. And as heavy as Ganon is, those two things work really well together.
See? Man, the amount of times that Hacks Money Hulk Hogan has back aired this game, that has been the entire game plan for her.
Yeah, I think that she's probably has a very specific plan on this stage and went, you know what? I already know what I want to do. I'll just try to execute on that a lot, right?
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree. And so far, I think it's worked because I feel like Melee Sad Post has been trying to sort of box Haxmoney Hulk Hogan out, which I don't know if is the correct approach when they're Ganon is just spamming back air. I think maybe the better thing is to try and whiff punish the landing, like right there, run in and boost grab that. Back air is going to come out, and then you can. Oh, it's a good empty land actually.
totally. I agree then. That's going to be another stock.
Yeah, I think shielding in general is not great here too. You have so much stage. You can dash away or wave dash away from any approach that Ganon gives. This is a really big punish though. Yeah, there we go. The shield there. If they're gonna do a bad aerial like that, then of course it's good.
Oh, this could be a really brutal punish off that dash attack, but it didn't quite happen. But that's the exact kind of situation where you were saying, hey, maybe that should have been a boost grab. Maybe you should have taken something a little different from that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the forward air, down air into forward air would be guaranteed there, and this is going to be the end of the game right here. So good stuff for Melee Sad Post to clean it up anyways. But just the reason you want boost grab there to me is because off a dash attack, Ganon's actually really heavy, and you actually can't get a true conversion there. And you saw that Melee Sad Post actually drift back. It was really good recognition, because if they went for a forward air, Stomp's coming out for sure, and you're getting punished 100%. You just can't connect there. If you go for the grab, you always get a forward air. It's not going to kill Ganon, but it's going to pull Ganon off stage. And if your needles are good, that's as good as dead for Ganon 100% of the time.
She has some strong edge guarding situations, even if you don't count needles, which just make it near impossible for Ganon to recover.
But I mean, I think that Melee Sad Post started just whiff punishing more as opposed to trying to contest the back air, and that's why we ended up seeing the 2-stock lead still coming out of that match. So good stuff.
Yeah, a 2-stock lead is still not bad. Like when you're in the lead like that in the crew battle, you're not too scared of just holding it for a little bit longer. Even if you couldn't have 3 stocks, right? Like while it might have been possible to trade 1-for-1 head to head with Haxmoney Hulk Hogan, having that 2-stock lead is still pretty serviceable for your team, and you're looking like you're in a pretty good spot, and you still have your counter pick advantage.
Yeah, it's looking good. I'm taking a look at the team rosters again right now. I feel like it's gotta be Kezup now, right? It just has to be.
Yeah, I think so too. It's their only other reason that they wouldn't do it, right, is maybe they want to scare out ex-girlfriend to get the peaches out of the way for Kezup.
Sure.
But I think seeing Ice Climbers counterpick Sheiks in a crew battle is a tale as old as time, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just, if you look at the rest of the characters left, Puff isn't a great matchup for Ices either. Fox, I mean, we don't know what Cinna is playing, and we don't know what Quad $sign is playing. It's really, there's quite a bit of uncertainty here. We've got the uncertainty principle in full effect. You can know all of the players' names, but you can't know their characters, I guess, or where they're located.
For Kezup's sake, or I guess for Cinnamonians possibly, do you know if for this crew battle they've turned on wobbling or not? I know that other crew battles in this tournament have, so I don't know what their position on it was. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know what this crew battle is doing specifically for it. That just makes a big difference for the the power of those Ice Climbers, right?
Allston, you got any info for us on that? No clue.
Right. Only the crew battlers know.
No clue. I mean, Kezup is a strong player too. So I think Kezup is from northeastern Ohio. I would assume she has a good amount of Peach practice regardless. So yeah, it's a hard matchup, but you can't be too afraid of it, right? I think it's just going to happen eventually. Yeah, there we go. We see Kezup come out, which this makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I think we would have been surprised to see anything else. They probably took their moment to think, hey, what is the plan after this, right? Like, we're going to wipe out Melee Sad Post, move forward, probably going to have a rough matchup for Kezup. But how do we move forward from there? You can kind of plan your counter picks. When you have some of these more polarizing characters with harder counter picks, you can really kind of, predict quite a bit ahead of time what you need to do.
Yeah. It becomes less about where in the battle it happens, and just okay, we know that this situation is going to lead to a few things after here, and we can send in this character in A or B, and do we want to hedge our bets and hope that the best case scenario happens, or do we want to just send them in now because they'll get some value, you know? So like best case scenario, we send this in, obviously, we send Kezup in when ex-girlfriend is out. Do we think that's going to happen? Maybe not. I don't know if there's wobbling, but it doesn't look like Kezup needs them. That handoff was so slick, 0 to death.
So
Let's
cool.
not forget Icy still have a chain grab on sheet.
Yeah.
So. Oh, this might be it. This might be it. Is Trinity really only going to do 9% just chain grab? Yeah, you got to stop DIing away because they're going to get to ledge and then... Oh my god, Kezup is styling. Trinity has to be so demoralized too. That's it. Ooh, rage quit. Yeah.
Quit a little bit early there. Sometimes you know how it goes though. Kezup taking a mere 9% in that one. That one's brutal. No wobbling even needed. Yeah. That last stock, even though it didn't end up being a 0 to death chain grab, it practically was.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about whether or not there was wobbling. Icy versus Sheik could be a difficult matchup without wobbling too. That chain grab is brutal.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure they have a plan moving forward from here. This is the first time since the beginning of the crew battle. We've had 3 players on each side now where they've come exactly even on stock count again. They're at 20 to 20 now, right? 20 stock. So, yeah, 5 players left on the side.
So, we're assuming ex-girlfriend is coming in here. We've been talking about this situation a lot.
Yeah.
And that just feels like what it's got to be, right?
Yeah, this is what Peach players are hoping for when they go to their major. They're hoping that the Ice Climbers is in their bracket. But all these Ice Climbers players, they have to know, I have to be prepared for this big bad problem coming my way.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one of the most interesting parts of this crew battle, in my opinion, is when you see some of these stronger players get pinned up against each other, and it's like, well, if Kezup wins this or even brings it, 3 stocks still, that means so much for their crew, actually.
It's a big victory, yeah, because we were talking about how do you budget that power, right? And so if you're budgeting the power here, expecting, okay, we're going to stop Kezup in our tracks, we're going to 2-stalker, we're going to 3-stalker, and then it's actually super close. Well, you've used a lot of your strongest player already, so.
Yeah, it's so true. It's interesting you use the word budget for it too, Zane, because that's really what it is like. Like your team is deciding where do we want to fit in certain value on our team.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a little unpredictable because you don't know how Kezup is going to do for Sex Girlfriend, right? Until it's done.
Yeah.
You can just kind of think, how effective will it probably be? It's really interesting. Sometimes Melee feels like it's an RTS for some of these characters, right? Like your crouch cancel percentage feels like it's like a currency you have, right? Sometimes stocks for rest are like a currency. You've reached the right area. But
I
always
love
everyone has to play that one.
Sorry,
yeah.
What you were saying.
No, that I was saying that when you're in a crew battle, everybody has to play that game though. Everything about what those values are for absolutely everything.
Yeah, and it changes the cost of certain things. And I think one of the, it's a term that maybe gets a little bit overused, but what are your resources that you burn in terms of like double jump, recovery, mix-ups, etc. There really is some sorts of budgeting and RTS aspects that you got to think about. As Drug Fox always says, just look at the screen, watch what's happening. Sammy's favorite piece of advice.
I love the look at the screen mentality. Just look at what's on the screen. That's funny. That is a very Drug Fox thing to say. I've heard that.
The only reason I could see not spending big here, putting in ex-girlfriend, is if you're trying to save ex-girlfriend for bonfire.
Yeah.
And you think that you have something else that can handle Kezup right now.
Oh, totally, 100%. And I don't think that this isn't the team that they don't have. Oh, before I even speculate, well, they are sending an ex-girlfriend. We know right now.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, let's see if they just hop right into it because we know it's 4 stocks to 4 stocks, so not necessarily any need for any mucking around right now.
All right, I'm excited to see this one. It's a matchup I feel like You either see scarcely at top level or it's like a train wreck. So I'm excited to see how this actually goes out. And they are
We're going
just
right
awesome.
in. Ooh, good stuff from Kessup to start. Okay, there's the down smash, splits up the ices.
A platform situation with ices could have been really, really scary, but it ended up not being able to be converted into anything.
Okay, wow. Good spacing to get the nair on both of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing that makes it so scary.
Yeah, I actually really like ex-girlfriend's target selection for that whole edge guard sequence. You don't always need to go for the backup climber if the main one is just side being straight into you, you know? Because Nana or Popo, which it's technically Popo here, but people always make fun of me for saying backup climber. If the other one is not doing anything and the main climber is just side being straight at you, why not just hit him off stage and then, you know, rinse and repeat with a little bit more percent?
Ooh, we have a rough situation here, but Kessup is making it pretty respectable so far.
Yeah, I think Kessup has definitely played this matchup before, as any ICs probably has.
Yeah, they have to prepare for this one pretty hard. And any more like damage you can get here, making your next stock a little bit easier means a lot, but going in with just a 16% on that extra credit.
Oh my gosh, the down smashes are flying fast and furious. I think what Kessup needs to do here a little bit is, yeah, Light Shield is a great response actually, because ex-girlfriend's primary strategy has been to just flow cancel aerial into immediate down smash. And so the ways you can beat that are Light Shield is one. The other way is maybe to try and wave dash back or dash back on the aerial initially, and then punish the down smash if it's just coming out instinctively instead of just all the time. Instead of on reaction.
One of the reasons I like you're suggesting to use like Light Shield for it too is because one of the actual big threats about down smash, whether you're thinking about it or not, is its ability to shield poke. What's scary about Ices is that if either of you get shield poked, what you might be able to have turned that situation into doesn't really matter anymore. Because if you got separated and one of your climbers is off the stage, you kind of have a new problem you have to deal with, even if you want to take your punish right then.
Yeah, 100%. Down smash is just a really scary tool in this matchup. As is fair, as is nair, as is down air. I mean, it's rough. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Boy. That means a lot for this team, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that ex-girlfriend went for that sort of undershot bear. It's not something that she's been representing too much up until now. But Kessup manages to whiff punish and then gets down smash for approximately 90% immediately after.
Yeah, she might have been just a little like anxious to get it over with, you know?
Yeah.
Like to go in there, not to create that bad situation.
Oh.
And a step edge guard, but we'll see what happens from there. Kessup is hoping more than anything to get this stock, if possible, but it just wasn't, unfortunate.
Yeah, not gonna happen, but a valiant effort. 2 stocks is respectable in that matchup. On Fountain of Dreams too. Fountain of Dreams can make it really difficult because down smash on platform becomes even scarier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, things are going to start getting really interesting as we start getting about the middle of the crew battle, because both teams are about halfway spent for what players they have. So now, any of those theoretical counter picks they made earlier, where we're talking about having your Peach for your Ices, your this for your this, it's probably, by this point of the crew battle, whittled its way down to, well, it either happened or it didn't, right?
Yeah,
so now,
exactly.
all those hardest counter picks probably seem like they're out of the way, or they're not really able to be anticipated for from here.
Yeah, you start to choose the timeline you're going on at this point. This next decision probably plays out the rest of the crew battle in certain ways, because you can theory craft a bit of it after that. Like, okay, you use Bonfire here, they counter pick Bonfire with a Puff, then we use our Marth against the Puff, etc., 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 you know.
Yeah, I'm hoping we see a Jigglypuff on the screen. That's what I'm hoping for.
Does that team have a Jigglypuff? I don't
For
think
the
they
other
do.
team, we have a player who we don't know who they have in, so we're
Devil
not
May
totally
Cat.
certain.
They're a P
Devil May
plus player though, and I don't feel like P plus players are predisposed to playing Jigglypuff. Do you know?
No, they're not. She's been hurt in that game. She's had it a little rough. I never got into Project M prior to P plus really, right?
Yeah.
And when P plus came out, I started going to my Project Plus locals, trying to attend that more. And it's funny because I play Puff and Melee, so I was like, logically, I'll try her, but I don't maybe want to main the same character. And I kept going through the rolling of maybe I'll play DDD, maybe I'll play this character, maybe I'll play Ice Climbers. And I would always go, well, if it's going to be a melee matchup, I'll probably revert back to playing Jigglypuff because I know it, right? So we'll have to see who they play for melee. Maybe they're in the spot where they play P plus, but they have a melee character as well, right? It could go the other way around. Like for the time I was playing P plus and playing Yoshi, you might not guess that, oh, she plays melee Jigglypuff separately. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah. I just also feel like, given what I know about what P plus players play their game for, it's not to play Jigglypuff. Do you
No,
know what
you're
I mean?
totally.
That's not really
She doesn't.
why you play P plus, is to play Jigglypuff.
You know what though? For the most people, I should not be the one who says this, but do most people play melee and then think, yes, Jigglypuff is what I wanted out of this game?
That's a pretty good point, actually. Yeah, I would actually, if I'm stereotyping melee players, I probably wouldn't say that. The character for Puff players is Wario. That's how I feel. I actually agree. That was my first instinct based on my very, very limited Project M P plus knowledge.
You know what? That's kind of how it was when I went into PM as well. I was like, what characters are not Jigglypuff but will give me the same satisfaction? I thought it was going to be DDD. Wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily, right, but Wario I think is actually probably the character.
Did you think
That,
DDD because of the multiple jumps?
no, just because DDD is really campy.
Sure.
I saw the Cascadian was a big exposure to me, like wanting to play that game more, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh, DDD just sits on the ledge and throws projectiles. That's hype.
that is hype. I'm stalking Devil May Cats. Okay, it's gonna be Chia. It's gonna be Chia. So we have more time to
Mhm.
figure out Devil May Cats. I mean, Chia, a very, very old school player,
Yeah.
really, really experienced. Definitely is gonna have a lot of knowledge in this matchup. So this makes a lot of sense to me too. I was thinking maybe Bonfire would come out, but they're saving their big guns for later.
Yeah, and I can agree with that decision because I think Chia is going to hit really hard here anyway. So I don't think this is a big deal. And I don't know I don't know the most about this matchup between Peach Samus. I know it's not Samus player's favorite matchup from what I hear. But
Yeah,
we know it's 2 to 4 stocks. Like, even if you cut it even here, you're a little behind. But now that you have your strongest player still left over, you can maybe plan to bank on beating up the other team a little stronger with your strongest player remaining.
yeah, this matchup's interesting. So, yeah, Samus players don't like it, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of
100.
reasons not to. Peach's, I mean, Samus's aerial mobility is not amazing. It's not the best,
Mhm.
and Peach can obviously move in a completely unique way in the air horizontally that can really make it hard if you don't have good air-to-air tools. And then one of Samus's other big strengths is her weight and ability to crouch cancel. And Peach has a lot of good anti-crouch cancel options with forward air and just also with float canceling in general, allowing Peach to get another move in or get her shield up or do something else after an aerial that she might not be able to. There are certain things that Samus has, which are aerials to stuff Peach's approaches on certain horizontal, sorry, not aerials, projectiles to stuff Peach's
Mhm.
approaches on certain horizontal planes, and then back air. I mean, Samus's back air is an amazing, amazing move if you're trying to swat someone out of the air, and it can be really, really good if you're trying to space out Peach, but it requires turning your back to Peach, and Samus doesn't have any other moves that are really that good in that situation, so.
That's really, really true. See, my brain was really one-dimensional about it, where I went, Samus heavy likes to hold down. Peach punishes that really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like my one-dimensional thought process of why does this seem bad?
No,
But I
that's a pretty good summation. I think as we were getting to the end of high level Samus Peach gameplay, and I say the end because we haven't seen a lot of it in a really long time after Duck and
Mhm.
Armada played their last match because Duck stopped playing Samus. Pup hasn't been playing Samus for a long time. But there was this sense that, oh my god, maybe the Samuses can do it because they're so smart, they're so patient, they're experienced at playing the long game, and Bear is so strong, and there are good kill options if you can land them. But also, after like 7 minutes on Dreamland, Peach is getting a Stitch face, like she's just
Yeah,
getting 100%, and that is gonna be the stage we go to. It's not gonna be that long a match because Ex-Girlfriend only has 2 stocks, but
mhm.
okay.
Yeah, one thing I can say is that when you have a Samus and a Peach, or either of these characters and a Pup going to Dreamland, I would normally kind of assume a timeout is always on the table.
Yeah.
With the stock deficit, it's pretty unlikely that that's going to happen. Um,
I mean, also with the way Ex-Girlfriend is playing, she just grabbed a turnip.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she has it already!
right away. Oh,
I'm
no.
so sorry, Gia. I actually cursed you. I actually cursed
Oh,
you.
no.
He's dead.
This is
Oh
your
my
fault.
god. How tilted do you have to be?
Oh, that's brutal. Whenever this happens in a crew battle, and you see like the RNG thing favor the team that's in the lead, my brain is just like, the rich get richer. No, they didn't earn this one.
Yeah.
Ooh, great shielding there from Ex-Girlfriend, though.
Ex-Girlfriend also so cute with the turnips this entire time. The recap have really been throwing off Chia's momentum, I think, in trying to stuff out these approaches.
I'm not sure what Chia's quite looking for. I think Chia seems a little shook from that interaction and is trying to find like footing and go, how should I be getting in on you? That wasn't working. Like, it wasn't just because the Stitch face that things aren't working, right?
Yeah, not sure what she's looking for sums it up really well. That was a really nice try with that charge shot. I respect it, actually.
Just close. Charge shot is does not have as big of a hitbox as it visually appears like it does, though.
Yeah, it's not quite as big. It's just the center of the hitbox. I like that she is just letting him rip.
Yeah.
She has a read on Ex-Girlfriend using that specific float height to try to approach. She also has a read on when Ex-Girlfriend is trying to approach. That's the second time she has just charged forward smash and let it rip to much success. So, not that time, though. Oh boy.
Not quite the same. We said something earlier at the beginning of this crew battle.
You have to be kidding me. Oh my god. Oh, Chia must be so angry.
That's frustrating. And all of a sudden, we're even in stock, actually. That hurts. Wow, I was trying to say that in the first game, we saw Big Meat Gamer utilize a couple of situations where it was just a charge F smash. Like, hey, I think you might fall into this. Even if every muscle in your body says, don't go down there, don't go in front of that move, your approach patterns can get so ingrained in your head that you just end up doing it. And I think that's kind of what Chia was hoping for right there. Like,
Yeah.
you've floated and done this fair every time. I'm just going to call you out for it. And now that you realize you've been called out for it, and like, hey, I see you charging that F smash, you're kind of committed to saying, well, if I whiff now, I'm going to get hit.
Yeah, but look at what Ex-Girlfriend is doing now. Ex-Girlfriend is literally not approaching unless Chia is in the air or has just done a move. Do an up tilt, you're gonna get hit. Go to the air, I'm gonna approach with a turnip. Go to the air, gonna approach with a turnip. Ex-Girlfriend is really just being really frustrating right now for Chia because Chia really wants to swing. You can tell. She wants to swing. She says Peach at 166% is ruining my day. And Ex-Girlfriend is exploiting it. Alright.
There's one. So you shoot enough charge shots, one of them's bound to connect, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was close.
Close.
Okay, I love
Whoa!
that mid platform. Oh my god, what a combo from Chia. It's still going too, 77% so quickly.
Ooh, that turnip connected in such an awkward way. I don't think I was ready for it either, though, so not a lot was converted off of it. Just never quite seen that.
Yeah, I don't like these full hop nairs from Chia. They've been getting punished pretty routinely. Oh, yeah, and the turnips are just so good. Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
I think she's just dead. She's not going to make it with air dodge to grapple. Oh, I
Oh.
underestimated Sam. She doesn't have grapple now though, so she has to up B. Yeah. Ex-girlfriend could have just taken ledge there. Gonna get the stock anyways, but
Yeah,
man,
but we both know Peach players. They never want to grab the ledge.
it's true. It's a really good point.
I feel like when
She
it comes to players creating an edge guard, they'll pick every option before ledge hogging. Just because
if
of
she
her.
take the stock now, yeah, I was about to say she's gonna let it rip soon. If she can take the stock now, then it's still even stock trade, so you can walk away feeling okay about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, not at all. It's not even stock trade at all. Ex-girlfriend
Well,
took 3. I'm such a liar.
no, so it's even stock trade for the match at least, right? Like, but it does put them at a pretty big deficit for the crew as a whole.
Is that extender that she just sent up?
I think she tried, but I didn't actually see it for sure. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
Ooh, good attempt there with the missile dash attack. Yep, it was.
Yeah, but she didn't press A there, or it's in the air, so you can't. It was actually because Peach was in the air, so you can't grab him in the air.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it didn't work that way.
Yeah. Okay, Nair's gonna do it.
All right, that has to feel relieving for Chia. Like that does hurt really bad. You lost 3 stocks to take those 2, but at least it's done. You did finish ex-girlfriend off.
Yeah, I mean, what it was. Chia took 2 stocks and ex-girlfriend took 3, right? So slowly but
Yeah,
surely, they're edging. Team B is still edging their way further and further ahead.
yeah, they are. That was not an amazing position to be in, and they still have some pretty strong players still on the board. Money sign, money sign, money sign, money sign, still in there. We're not sure who she plays. Thick Tony is still on that team, as well as Cinnaminion, who we aren't sure who she's locked in with her character today. So it's a lot of wild cards still left on that team to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And Team A still has Bonfire 10 on the board, who is going to be a threat no matter who they play.
Yeah, that is a big, big, big thing to keep in mind. Is Team B 3 stocks ahead? Yes, they are. That there's no denying that. Have they also maybe used more of their power budget? I think they have. I think that Team A has still got their strongest player left. And Team
Mhm.
B, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they pull out. Like, it could really go a lot of ways because of that, right? And
Yeah.
not knowing exactly what matchup we're going to be seeing from Cinnaminion, if we have to see Bonfire fight Cinnaminion's Ice Climbers, that would make me a little nervous about having your trump card have a hard counter pick kind of still on the board for them.
Yeah.
Um, but we're just not sure who she locked in before the match.
Cinnamonian definitely also a strong player that I could see them trying to save for Bonfire because Ice Climbers can be
Mhm.
really tough for Sheik, but also Fox obviously is Cinnamonion's like more main, I would
Yeah,
say.
current main.
Yeah, and is can be a tough matchup for Sheik. So
Yeah, we could see it go either way for sure.
mm.
They're contemplating. We'll just have to see what decision they come to.
Yeah. So what they have Cinnamonian, 2 puffs, and a mystery left, a dollar sign.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it's
it
gonna
is
be
Thick
one of the
Tony.
puffs.
Thick Tony, one of the Jigglypuff players over there. I get what I wanted. Patron
Yeah. Oh
Jiggly.
man.
So I have played this matchup with Chia before, and
Mhm.
Chia's hard at it. I really want to see how Thick Tony approaches it because I got my butt beat pretty hard by Chia, to be honest.
What did she do that made it so hard?
Out camped me just really hard. So she's gonna keep her space if they're somewhere large. But I would assume Thick Tony's gonna try to take the Dreamland choice here. But we'll see what actually happens.
I would assume so as well. Just like against Peach, it's a matchup where yeah, you got 2 floaties, but the big stage sort of excessively benefits one more than the other, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, because Puff does it's hard for Puff to land rests, obviously, but also it can
Mhm.
be hard sometimes for Samus to punish them unless Puff is like in charge shot kill range, and Dreamland's gonna make that harder to do.
Yeah, one of the things though is that it might be harder to get in that range for charge shot, but every time you swat away a puff, you have a lot of
You
room
get the
to
charge.
have time to get that charge
Good
shot.
point. That's a good point.
Um, and Puff has very few like confirmed rest setups. One of the like big things she's looking for at low percentage and up tilt that isn't crouch cancelable can lead to a
Mhm.
rest, as with anyone. But because you have to be really scared of if you do mess that up, you can take so much for it. A down smash can convert into an edge guard situation or just a lot of percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also Puff's other rest setups in this matchup are typically you go for a drill and then you try to like read a roll. So we'll see if they go for that. And the other thing would be if Chia throws out a risky grab, then Puff can rest that too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, it's gonna be Fountain actually.
Okay,
Interesting
I
enough,
accept
which
that.
maybe Chia banned Dreamland.
Yeah. I've kind of questioned, like, with the bans, it feels like sometimes it's being, I question it if it's being forgotten. I'm like, I've seen some pretty hard counter picks on this so far where I'm like, did everybody have some strange comfort picks or,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
this makes sense too. This does make
One
sense.
of the beauties of Melee. Chia is moving so much. All right, it looks like it's gonna be at 30. Yeah, there we go.
Mhm.
Okay, Chia's got a lot of work to do here if she wants to get her crew back into it. She's starting off real well, though. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Let's see how this one goes. Chia does start super strong with 70%, 80% before even getting touched.
Has not been hit at all. She's gonna keep letting those charge shots rip. Oh!
That's not
Letting those
good.
forward smashes
Right.
rip too.
This is giving me war flashbacks.
Sometimes the way that Chia plays, you can just really tell that, like, Chia played a lot of Brawl. More than
Mhm.
Melee, I would say. Chia plays a lot of Ultimate, and I think you can tell some of it by her play sometimes. Not in any bad way, just, oh my god, Tony's dead. They're dead.
The flashbacks are all coming back to me here. This is even my color. This feels bad.
I feel like Chia is just channeling everything that ex-girlfriend did to her and just throwing it right back at Thick Tony.
I appreciate that energy, though, to be honest. Like, Chia had a rough one right before this. And to, like,
Yeah.
immediately go, no, I have to beat up this Jigglypuff now and do all the work I can possibly do. I respect that a lot.
I feel like she's gonna.
Thick Tony still has absolutely the ability to solve this, though. One good back air leads to a good edge guard situation. Ooh, that is brutal.
I think Thick Tony feels really lost. I think the way that they got charge shot right there was by just sort of drifting in, wanting to get back into the scrap, desperately wanting to kill Chia. That's it, 4 stock. Holy moly, Chia, you legend. Chia says, you can't stop me with a Stitch Face. You can't stop me with a Bob-omb. I saw that Mr. Saturn you pulled too. I'm still going to end up taking 6 stocks. God
Chia
damn.
finds a little redemption. I love it, actually. That's hard. And it means so much for their team because that actually puts them back on the board, keeping this competitive. That divide was looking really bad there for a minute. So what does that bring the stock count to? Does that actually put
They're in the
that
lead.
team one ahead now?
They're in the
I mean,
lead
it's more
by
than
one.
stock, right? But at least it's a Samus stock. That goes a long way sometimes.
It can go a long, long way. And you got to imagine Thick Tony was the answer they had, right? If that was the
Yeah.
answer they had and oof, they just got 4 stocked. Yikes.
I think sometimes what happens is you come in and you say, hey, I play Jigglypuff, right? I know I'm supposed to be good versus Samus. That's a pretty typically considered your favor, but you go, maybe it's not my strongest. Maybe that's not my best counter pick. And then your team comes to the conclusion, hey, this is what we're gonna need you to do. All right, well, I will do my best at it, and then you're in there and it seems like a great idea for the team. But really you're thinking maybe that's not my best matchup. Maybe I don't have all the tools for that one, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of a team miscommunication problem you can kind of have sometimes. I think everybody's been, if you play crew battles like even semi-frequently, everyone's ended up there where somebody says, oh, you're the perfect counter to this. And you're like,
I guess I am.
theoretically,
No.
yeah, theoretically I am, but
I I never have that feeling because I play Falco, so no one thinks I'm the counter to anything. They just always want to send me in first. Oh, you're Falco main. It's fine. You can do anything. Oh, great.
Yeah, Falco's the perfect bread and butter to say, hey, no one counterpicks you that hard, at least.
Yeah.
How bad could it be?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Who all is left on these teams now? I haven't looked at it for a minute. So with Thick Tony out, Ooh Mystical Girl, another Jigglypuff player, still on the team. Quad dollar sign is still on there, and Cinnamonian with the one remaining stock for Chia to see who they pick with that. Over on Chia's team there, Bonfire, scary, and they still have Pet Bud the Marth player and Devil May Cats still.
Yeah. Oh, wait, so... Okay, yeah, they are in the lead. Yeah, in the lead by one stock. Okay.
One stock. Yeah.
Huh.
Get a lot of room to play.
This
you can't
is
let
tough.
That defeat is not the end for you, right?
This is tough because I think B wants to save Cinnamonian for Bonfire based on the way they've been picking so far. So it's got to be $, quad doll, or
Quad doll. I know it takes so long to say. I'm not sure how I should say it.
Or Uwu Mystical Girl. It's got to be one of those. I feel like.
They might be
unless they do want to send in Cinnamonian here. Yeah, there we go. Quad doll. Falcon. You had a Falcon player and you didn't send them in. What? You sent in the Puff player? What?
You know what though? We can say that now, but they couldn't know what they couldn't know, right? And I think
maybe they wanted to save them for the Marth. Maybe they wanted to save them for the Marth. Makes sense.
Right. And it made no sense to say, hey, look, Chia is kicking Jigglypuff butt right now. Why would we send another Jigglypuff, right?
Yeah. Can you imagine sending another Puff after that? That would be insane.
Yeah, just like, here, we're sending you off to your execution after you saw what just happened.
Listen, I think what I was saying about Chia representing a lot of Brawl, Smash 4 Ultimate style play too is one of the things that those players are really good at is scouting landings and just knowing, since those games are floatier, a lot of it comes down to just being able to catch people in the air, catch them if they're trying to come down to the ground safely, and that's something that can be really valuable against Jigglypuff, and I think that we saw Chia getting that with charge shots, we saw Chia getting that trying to just, say, you're going to drift into me here, so I'm going to forward smash you.
For real.
Yeah.
We saw that with both the floaties that she's fought so far, but this is going to be really a different circumstance.
Oh. Weird grab by Chia. Okay, Quad Doll manages to land a hit. Poking with these Nair is actually really, really important. Oh god. Oh no! Oh my god. I was so worried there. Good navigation around the missiles from Quad Doll.
It was. They're definitely familiar with this matchup to an extent. Chia's just playing it probably a little bit more patiently. Maybe sometimes your pace can be different when you are already starting from a deficit. You're like, whoa, this isn't like normally how these matches start, right?
Yeah, I think what's going on right here is Quad Doll has figured out how to get past the missiles, but there's an extra step after that where Chia's going to try and hit you after you get in. And Chia is more ready once Quad Doll... The missiles are not the threat. The missiles are what forces you to come in, and then there's a Samus in front of you, and you got to deal with that too, you know?
Oh boy. Not going to connect, though. Little greedy. Still having double jump. Captain Falcon has some...
dead.
Ooh.
Chia has taken 8 stocks.
Chia has done a lot of work in this crew battle. Team can't be mad about that. Even if the ex-girlfriend match went kind of rough, she's done so much work, like, following it up.
Especially with the ex-girlfriend match going that rough. It's so impressive how much this last stock is getting. Okay, that should do it. Oh, what a choice.
It's not. That's Samus. Zane,
if that had killed, it would have been so great. But now I worry that Quad Doll is going to pay the price.
We'll still have to see. 26% is not the worst situation to be in as Captain Falcon here. And Chia might actually be in the worst situation at 156.
I'm worried for Quad Doll, man. Just an up air is all you need, but they're really looking a little panicky.
Having a hard time navigating through these situations, just wanting to make something convert finally.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh no!
Is Chia gonna get a double 4-stock? It can't happen. It can't be true.
I've never seen that
Oh, that was close. That was real close. Okay, Bagger's gonna do it. Oh my god, we gotta applaud Chia though. Holy, that last stock of Chia's after having the most infuriating game versus ex-girlfriend, that last stock goes for 7. Huge.
That's crazy when you think about it, actually. Like, when was the last time you got 7 stocks with 1? Crazy. Chia with the carry.
Yeah, I saw that in chat. That did feel like sort of a carry. I did appreciate the reverse Falcon kick punish. If that had killed, I would have popped off.
So, with their options dwindling, though, we start seeing the counter picks become a little more linear here, I think. Because in order to counter pick Chia, their only option now is Cinnaminion, is the last person on Team B to fight up against, or excuse me,
Bonfire.
Excuse me, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And in my opinion, I feel like Team A is holding Bonfire as their anchor. Is what has become clear. Gonna make you expend all your resources. If you've used too much, Bonfire is just gonna clean up. And also sometimes it's, I don't want to pass any judgment on the skill level of these players, but as someone who is a stronger player in a crew battle, a lot of the time you're like, let the other players have a chance before, I go in and clean up.
Not only is that like a good strategy, but it's like good for your team too. Like, if you have some of your like weaker players on your team left, like you want them to have the opportunity to like say, hey, even if you're not going to finish out the rest of this crew battle, right? Even taking a stock makes it so when your anchor comes in to finish it, it's that much easier for your team to find a win, right? Yeah. Crew battles are interesting in that way, where like it's not just like the matchup, like the planning of who's going to do their matchup counter picks, right? There's like the skill of your players who are involved, and like everybody has a place to like fill those roles and has an opportunity to like help their team. Like everybody has a position in it.
Yeah, and
not
also
everybody taking 7 stocks on your last one.
I feel also like I feel like there's been a resurgence of crew battles with Slippy and online melee in some ways. And one of the things that with them surging even more in popularity that everyone gets to experience is crew battles very frequently. Sometimes they're grudge matches, sure. Sometimes they're in brackets. If you're just doing them casually, there's one of the best ways to play melee like competitively but still sort of casually. So a lot of the time too, it's just like we're going to send stuff in that feels right for the players, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody just wants to play a certain opponent, maybe. Like there's all sorts of reasons somebody goes, hey, put me in, right?
Yeah. I see Petbud in chat saying, hi, please be nice to me. I started playing this year. Petbud, we will be so kind to you. Don't worry about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome that you started playing this year. That just makes me happy that we still get new melee players. Literally getting melee players in pandemic. That's incredible.
Yeah, Slippy has really opened that door for us, though. Like, a lot of people have, like, a way to go, hey, maybe I don't want to go out to tournaments immediately. You can get into the game kind of at your own pace. I think that's really cool.
I see a lot of Petbud fans in the chat.
That's
you
awesome.
Got the people behind you, Petbud.
Well, I'm excited to see how they do.
Me too. All right. Seems like it's going to be 7:30 again. That's been about when they've been starting. FOD, certainly good counter pick for Mirth a lot of the time. Here we go. I think Quad Doll's going to run in. Oh my god, they actually proved me such a liar because they ran away and then they run in, and it made all the difference.
It is. Oh wow, that was such an awkward angle for the counter. I really thought that was just going to be it.
Yeah.
Fast stock.
If Petbud had managed to really place that forward smash, that would have been it. Oh,
Yeah. Was it even placeable? It looks like maybe that was just a good sweet spot on dollar signs.
It's always placeable because Falcon does
Okay.
the little flip at the end.
See, I thought that was a Gammon problem specifically.
Nah, it's both of them. You can like sweet spot quote unquote, but they'll almost always they'll be above the ledge. The neutral B gonna send off. All right, that'll do it. 1 for 1. Good stuff, Pet Bud.
Good stuff. Started this year and already taking stocks for the crew. That's awesome.
Yeah. Looked good too. I like the neutral B ender to punish the
Yeah.
air dodge. That was sick actually.
I think neutral B is a funny move where like it might seem like from an outside surface, like a lot of melee players are like, oh, that's like a bad move. But it's like, well, it starts becoming a good move again as you know where to use it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very interesting.
one of Mart's actual real problems is that in the air, he can sometimes have trouble pushing people off the stage because if you hit him with a tipper, they just go straight up. And so neutral B is a really nice horizontal pushing away from the stage move in the air.
All right, so that team is at their final call here. There's only one counter pick left. Cinnaminion will be coming in. And now we'll get to know who she's playing.
Cinnaminion is coming in. You have confirmation on that?
She has to, right?
No, we have the other Puff player.
Oh my gosh, I'm losing my
Mystical
thought.
Girl.
Mystical Girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure then. I lost track of one player. These 7-person crew battles mess with me.
Yeah. It's easy to lose track. I feel you.
7 players to 7 players. A little not traditional, but cool nonetheless. What's the biggest crew battle you've ever seen?
I've seen 10v10 before.
I have definitely seen 10v10 also.
Yeah.
I don't remember 12 or like 11, 13-ish area. There was a house tournament I was at where there was a really big one. It took like 2.5 hours or something. Pretty ridiculous.
Well, what was Nico's in the chat? I don't know if he knows. What was the original like East Coast versus West Coast melee crew battle? Was it 8? The like really famous the one back in the day. Oh man, I'm having trouble even finding it. Here we go, the FC3 one. Maybe not. This is only an hour and 15 minutes long. I know there were tons. It might have been that they had like 8 players on each team, but they didn't have to use all of them. I don't quite remember.
Interesting. That's kind of an interesting thought for a format. What if like you had like crew battles are an interesting format if you mess with them. Like what if you had, all right, you have 8 players, but you only get to pick 5 of them. Once 20 stocks are gone, that's it.
Yeah, except then you run into the problem. You run into the problem of like, oh, I sat here for an hour and a half and didn't play melee.
That is true. I think crew battles kind of part of the point is so you can actually go in and everybody gets a chance to play. And sometimes that doesn't happen even now, right?
Yeah.
If one team gets a huge lead, like sometimes the last player on the team doesn't even get to be used, right? But I think knowing that it's built in a way where, hey, 3 of our players will definitely not play today, probably, while it might be a cool format, definitely might not be the most fun for them.
Yeah. I feel you. Okay, Nico says that the 10v10 was Genesis 2. That makes sense. The FC3 one is also incredibly famous, and I don't remember how many players each is actually, and I'm not about to watch through an hour and 15-minute VOD to remember.
I'm surprised there's not a Smash wiki page that says these were all the people in each crew battle at this point. They're being like so famous they fall down like history, right? There's still stuff I hear about, like even within Smash Sisters crew battles, you'll hear like what some player did in a crew battle from like a couple of years ago at like one of the Genesis ones that are so cool actually.
No, it was also 10v10. Yeah, it was 10v10, the FC3 crew battle. That's crazy. Huh.
Crew Legacy. It's always so cool. It's like for a mode that is not like the competitive bracket most people are putting a ton of money on. It's interesting to see that like people have such good moments for it. Like, why is it skipping my brain? Mofo, the Nest player versus Hacks. Like, even though it wasn't like that, always sticks in my head as like a crew battle moment that was like, I don't know, so big for something that maybe wasn't really the biggest deal in the world, but it was just so
Yeah.
interesting, so cool.
Yeah,
It
I
means
remember.
so
I
much.
mean, Hacks versus Leffen in the USA versus the World crew battle is also an iconic moment. There's a few different ones. Uh, those old USA versus the World crew battles were wild.
Yeah, for real. It's so funny that we're like talking about this now when like I was recently watching a bunch of these like old crew battles like in bed. Just like watching through them is like so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. All right, still waiting on the next player. So yeah, it's just, is it going to be the Puff or is it going to be Cinnaminion? And who is Cinnaminion going to play? Who knows?
I'm sure there's a lot of contemplation going on here because that means a lot, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like in this situation, I feel like it's probably Ooh, a Mystical Girl, because they still want to. At this point, Cinnaminion, you're like sort of expecting to maybe put in a good amount of work anywhere, and so I think they want. I think you would, on the off on the chance that Uwu Mystical Girl goes off and then you still get Cinnaminion versus Bonfire as a matchup. That's what you're aiming for, right? That's
I
still
think so.
your quote unquote win condition.
I think you're right on that too. But maybe they're thinking like there's a chance that like maybe they are thinking Puff Marth is maybe more volatile. So they're like maybe thinking, oh, if we lose more stocks that way, maybe Cinnaminium will hold these stocks longer. Not sure.
It also depends what character Cinnaminion is playing, right? Because
That's true.
If Cinnaminion is playing Fox, then which is what you would want maybe the most against Bonfire, then you maybe don't want to send in Cinnaminion now against Fetbud.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
if Cinnaminion is playing Ices, that's still good against Bonfire, and then maybe you could send him in here too. Someone just said that's not Zane in chat, and
I
then
guess you're not Zane.
asked Nico if they want to play some games. Hmm.
Disrespectful.
Hand pain. Sorry. Yeah, that's right, Nico. Tell him.
Oh, I know who that person is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fake Zane. All these people calling me fake, huh? I don't
Ow.
know. I don't know about all that.
It's not even spelled the same. You're the real Zane with an E in my heart.
Thanks. I think our stream died.
Oh no. I
Yeah.
see the app in chat.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And I have it open, and yeah, it's not running.
Uh-oh. I'm also watching and it is chugging
It's back.
along, but it's
We're back. We're
coming.
back. We're back. How
We're
is that
back. Yay.
disrespectful? I'm fake just because he has a different spelled name than me and he was born after me? You're saying I'm fake version of someone else and you don't get how it's disrespectful? Come on, man. Come on, it's fine, but you can't go around calling someone fake.
Okay, it's better. Yeah, that's just mean. I hope that the crew wasn't affected at all by that. I'd rather
I,
them spend this time in their contemplation phase here than worrying about internet issues.
yeah, I feel like probably they're good, right? Because
I can't imagine it would look
we
good.
would be assuming that there's a connect code or something that we would have missed.
That's true. That makes sense.
Mm. I mean, we could peek into the Smash Sisters Team B chat,
Oh,
see what's
I mean,
happening.
they're in there. They're definitely plotting something.
Ah, here it is. Here it is.
That's what it was.
You're not good enough to be his fake. Jesus Christ. All right.
Ooh, roasting you.
I mean, it's true.
Oh,
I'm not nearly as good as Zayn, but rough. Okay, it's gonna be Uwu Mystical Girl. I think that this is hoping for the best case scenario from Team B. I think if Uwu Mystical Girl can pop off here, then you get the Cinnaminion versus Bonfire matchup that we've been anticipating this whole time.
Yeah, it's interesting how that's lined up. Like one of those things we talked about earlier, where we said most of the hard counter picks or the things we expected happened earlier on, except for that one. Like it was like the bank in the back that's what they're still looking for.
Yep.
It is super important to see. Petbud actually having the opportunity to take like as many stocks from Uwu Mystical Girl or win this. This is kind of a pivotal match for this right now.
Oh my god. That could have been a rest setup, but then I was like, oh my god, it's a crew battle. I don't know if you want a rest setup.
Right. When you have the lead, I actually think you would just take it. That was a whole great exchange from Uwu Mystical Girl.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Petbud says that she's only been started playing this year. One of the things that has really led Mars to be able to, have an advantage in this matchup is the development of pivot tech. And if you haven't been playing for a year, I'm not going to fault you if you don't know how to pivot, so...
It really does make a huge, huge difference. These Mars killers from Uwu Mystical Girl, I feel like you never really see Puffs go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a lot of the time we've seen HBox just go for the fair from ledge a lot of the time too, because it sort of just covers any sort of jump or side B mix-up that the Marth might have, and also because Jigglypuff's only option to punish a Marth on stage is to rest a lot of the time or pound, right? And so that's not as good as some other characters, because the rest means you'll still get punished in some way.
Yeah. Petbud is really looking for one more of these big conversions to happen. And if any of these F smashes that are connecting end up being a tipper, and Uwu Mystical Girl doesn't space around it just carefully enough, that does mean a lot for them.
Yeah, Uwu Mystical Girl really taking advantage of Petbud's tendency to swing right now, though. Just, I think a lot of that game, or that stake, that match, just came down to Uwu Mystical Girl wave dashing in, Petbud thinking, oh my god, now's my time to swing, and then shield, fair out of shield, bear out of shield, whatever, and that was how made her bread and butter.
Yeah. So we start seeing the linear picks of this match coming to now. Mystical Girl didn't lose any stocks for that, right?
Nope,
She
nope,
saw
we're back
before.
to an even 8v8 now.
That does mean a lot for them.
Yeah, so we don't...
Well, we lost Zane there for a moment. Zane can't hear you. Zane will be back any moment now, hopefully. But we're going to be seeing from them, Uwu Mystical Girl is still going to be in with 4 stocks, while Team A is kind of forced to come in with Devil May Cats, who we haven't seen who their pick is for this. Or it could be Bonfire. It could be either one of those. So we either have a mystery character, or we have Bonfire Sheik. And either way, Mystical Girl has 4 stocks, so it's totally even at 8 to 8. It's funny because I can see Zane. But I can't hear him.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. I think the funniest part about that was I could still see you, but I couldn't hear you.
I was just realizing that as I came back in.
Oh, no.
I was just trying to go to a different... I was trying to go to the text channel to look at the team, and then I clicked into the voice channel, and because the production channel is hidden until you get put into it, I couldn't join again by myself.
Oops. Have you ever done that same thing where, like, you've entered a chat not knowing, like, that you would make a big noise coming in when you didn't mean to? You're, like, trying to scroll through, like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yep,
That's one of the
100%.
things Discord for, like, as a tool for online tournaments is so funny that way that you're just, like, you can accidentally become so disruptive without, like, doing anything but a mispress.
Yeah.
So,
what I was gonna say
yeah.
is that I would assume Devil May Cats is coming in here.
I think so, unless Devil May Cats has some special counter pick we just don't know, because a wild card like that is one of the funniest things where you just have no idea what sort of damage they're going to be able to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and we still don't know what character they play, so...
Are you hoping that we see some spacies before the end of this?
A
You were saying
little
before
bit,
the crew
a
battle, all
little
the
bit. I
floaties are
gotta
there.
admit, a tiny bit. I wouldn't be sad to see a spacey.
I wouldn't be sad to see a spacey either.
How about you? If you had to choose one character for them to play,
Oh, more Jigglypuff. Easily.
of course. Oh, right.
Haven't had a
You
single
want you
Jigglypuff
want the
video in
Puff
this crew
Ditto right
battle.
now.
Absolutely.
Seems like a good time.
Wouldn't be a crew battle unless you have two floaties who both desperately don't want to lose any stocks. It means a lot right now too. So like that really would be true. Like every one of those stocks, if it were a Puff Ditto, would carry so much weight over.
High impact Puff Dittos. That's what
Especially,
we're gearing up for, apparently.
I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I'm now mentally prepared for it because you've asked. I talked about it earlier how like Puff, you're a little bit more reserved, or like you think about your rests a little bit differently in crew battles. That all changes when you're at the end of the crew battle though. Like
Yeah.
you get a Puff to bonfire, it's now like fingers on the trigger, looking for every rest possible.
Really good
So you
point.
can line up your teammate, right, to finish
Yeah.
it. Because all those rests, who cares? It takes a stock. It's gone. They're still deciding though. It's interesting. I feel like the harder decisions for your counter picks are at the beginning of it when you have all the options. But the weight of those options when they're more limited, it means a lot though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right now, limited, but each choice matters a lot. And there's only about 2 more choices left. There's Devil May Cats. Oh, they were another Sheik player.
That's funny. There really were a lot of sheep
Oh.
on this team.
Yeah. Okay.
This
Huh.
isn't a good situation though either.
This could be a big swing. I'm a little worried for Team A now, who have been in big control for a while, ever since Chia made that huge swing.
I don't know. It's really going to come down to the comfort of the matchup. Ooh, Mystical Girl looked pretty strong fighting Pet, but it
I
could come
agree.
down to Devil May Cat feeling comfortable and feeling strong in this matchup. Could change everything, even if it's not a wash, right? We have 4 to 4 stocks. Like taking as many here as you can is important. The big thing here that hurts though is if you don't take really any, right? Like if it's a big wash on either side, that's really hard for the remaining teammate.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, taking a little bit of time to get into this.
They're preparing.
Da-da-da-da. Maybe some hand warmers going on, can assume.
Oh, that would make sense, huh? You really take your hand warmer time seriously when you're down to the wire, so.
Yeah. How do you feel about this matchup as a Puff main?
We talked about this a little earlier when we saw some Peach Chic. I for a long time hated this matchup.
Right.
His ability to get those hitboxes out just so fast. Puff wants to capitalize after like with punishes, right? So much. And it hurts Jigglypuff's heart so much to see that whiff happen, and then by the time you're there to punish it, Sheik has another hitbox out ready to hit you.
I know what you mean. Yeah, and then on the Sheik side, obviously, the thing that you really struggle with is Puff's crouch, which really just... I mean, Sheik struggles against crouch in general, but Jigglypuff's crouch can low-profile grab and then punish it with rest, which is...
That is the story on this one. You can also, by crouching, you can like crouch cancel a lot of Sheik's moves that lead to rest, including dash attack when it's not overshot, forward tilt or up tilt can both get rested if you hit a CCing Jigglypuff. It can be really scary for Sheik. Even certain aerials, like a down air that's not done well on your CCing or shielding can be really risky. The big threat for Sheik is always rest from Jigglypuff, I think.
God, Mystical Girl is all over Devil May Cats. Just scouting out a bunch of the panic rolls, too, that whole stock. Just chasing her down.
Yeah, she's definitely looking really strong at it. Devil May Cats is keeping up a lot of aggression too, which is either going to pay off really well and start taking stocks once the percentage builds up a little bit more, or it's going to keep being a situation where you walk into Jigglypuff and get back aired over and over and over.
Wow, what a forward smash call out. And actually just takes Devil May Cats before the jump comes back. But what's back there? That was sort of cute. You can see Devil May Cats is struggling a little bit to get the kill. It's such a hard thing for Sheik too, because in a lot of ways, getting the grab would be really huge once Uwu Mystical Girl is at kill percent. It's not like Sheik can't do stuff off grab to Jigglypuff. She can actually do a lot. She can have a lot of the same conversions that she has on other floaties, like on Peach.
Yeah, you can have down throw into conversions like up air at higher percent on certain DI mix-ups, and then air on path, even if it's not in a kill percentage yet. It's super powerful just because of the stage position you get. And Sheik is one of the better characters about creating edge guards on Jigglypuff when possible.
Yep, there it is. There it is. Oh man. Ooh, Mystical Girl. We were saying unless Ooh Mystical Girl pops off, and Ooh Mystical Girl pops off, we get our second 4-stock, right?
Yeah, that's the second 4-stock of the crew. That's brutal.
Chia and Ooh Mystical Girl. But where Chia had to do the 4-stock on 1 stock left, Ooh Mystical Girl is still on all 4 stocks.
Yeah, which makes this brutal. 4 to 8 stocks, especially when this puff is looking really strong. This creates a big mountain to climb for you.
Yeah. Yeah, Bonfire's got to put in a lot now, but there's a reason why they saved her for the anchor. We know who's coming, and I would say it's probably the strongest person on the side of Team A.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Bonfire is, at least, like, to my knowledge, probably the strongest player in this crew.
Yeah.
In this crew battle, I think.
In this crew battle, I would agree.
Yeah, as a whole, she's probably the most pivotal player. But when you're looking at 2 matchups that are considered pretty hard, like, counters, that's really rough, you know?
I think Team B has positioned really well around this to sort of sandwich Bonfire into an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, we have an entire Jigglypuff for Bonfire to deal with, which is hard. Bonfire might be capable of it, but Uwu is looking really tight and just got warmed up for the matchup, which can be kind of scary.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they still have either Cinnaminions, Fox, or Ice Climbers, just because we're not sure who she's locked in for the event. But either way, it's going to be really hard.
It is going to be a big mountain to climb, as you said. I think Bonfire's capable of it for sure. But we're just going to have to see which Bonfire showed up today. Bonfire is also pretty warmed up today. Maybe not in singles, but in general, because Bonfire was playing quite a bit of doubles earlier with Artie and putting on a good run.
She had an impressive doubles run. Did she make top 4?
I'm not sure if they made top 4. But I
Close
think they got pretty far.
Close to. Definitely within the top 8.
Yeah.
I saw someone mention, I think this is quite funny, that Uwu Mystical Girl took 2 stocks at 69% to close that out. That's good luck, you know.
Did they really? That's really funny, actually. Yeah. Let's see.
I hesitated to say anything about it when I noticed the ending of it. It's a little cliche, but if it was 2 stocks, that's something.
Yeah. Bonfire and Artie got 5th.
Okay, so just outside of what I thought. Still, an impressive run. Bonfire's had strong performances in a lot of events today. Was she featured in any of the crew battles that they had?
I think she was. I think she was on the winning crew, actually.
Oh.
I think she was on,
impressive performances all around.
Yeah, she was on the New Hampshire crew. So, there you go.
There you go. They're taking their while to get connected, make sure everything's working well here. Hoping their connection's doing okay. Maybe they're in a hand warmer already, not sure.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. It's getting to my bedtime. Sorry if I'm a little sleepy, you guys.
Yeah. See, the West Coast time is affecting you at this point, huh? Starting to go East Coast time.
I just haven't been getting too much sleep recently. And I think my partner is going to bed, so I might need to be a little bit quieter.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, don't get too loud for however intense this crew battle finishes out.
Yeah, ooh, I'm gonna need you
You'll
to
have to
not
golf
pop
clap.
off this time. I'm gonna need this to be a very sedated Sheik versus Jigglypuff match that goes all according to plan.
What are your predictions here off of seeing Ooh Mystical Girls like matches that we've just seen, finishing off both Pet and um the Sheik just previous to this?
It's actually hard for me to predict. I feel like Ooh Mystical Girl is a really strong, clearly, but very, very aggressive, a very specific style of Puff, and also was able to use a lot of maybe not unfamiliarity with the matchup in that last match. I think Bonfire is going to be more familiar and maybe also be able to prey on the aggressiveness. But as I say that, Ooh Mystical Girl is getting so much off of just scrapping.
Yeah, for sure. What's scary about this situation here is no matter how much work Bonfire puts in on Uwu, I can't see this being another 4-stock scenario.
No.
Which means even if Bonfire moves ahead, how many stocks will you have left to fight the final member of their crew? That's just intimidating. Ooh, and that could have been a rest, but it looks like it was a bigger jump than Uwu really wanted.
Yeah, I don't know what Uwu meant to do, but something there, some punish that didn't come out.
Ended up being okay though. Wall of Pain sends Bonfire off the stage. Bonfire having to respect these ledge situations so much too, because you don't want to get caught up with Puff on the ledge and get pulled off on accident.
Okay. I like it. So what Bonfire has realized, oh my god, that was so sick. And actually, because the rest crossed up, Bonfire had the wrong DI. Also, who expects back air into rest? So it was a star KO. Oh my god, I think Ooh Mystical Girl might just end it here, and we're not even gonna get to know who Cinnaminion is playing. Oh, it's over. It's over. There's just no way.
Bonfire needs a miracle to pull this one back here. 3 Jigglypuff stocks at Sheik in this position is really, really hard to make happen. Every single up tilt, every up air, every crouch, these are all like fatal mistakes.
Dude, Ooh Mystical Girl is feeling it too. They went for edge cancel drill into rest there. They just missed the edge cancel.
Yeah. That's that's like the 2 Saint edge cancel rest stuff over here. Getting very cool.
Solo battle too. Okay, Bonfire manages to close it out there.
See, that's what really needs to happen for Bonfire too, is making these grabs actually happen. Ooh. That it just there?
That's gonna do it.
That'll be it. Wow, congratulations, Mystical Ooh. Crazy.
Yeah, Ooh, Mystical Girl. Not just congratulations on like an amazing win for the crew, but on hitting that clip there. That back air into rest is one you can tuck away for a nice rainy day and to keep you warm.
Yeah, you saved that one for the combo video. Like, this is how we closed out the crew battle. Like, it was clean. It was clean.
Yeah. Nice. I just want to know who Cinnaminion was going to play now. That's
right. The mystery we'll never know.
Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe we never will know. That's gonna hurt. But anyway, that was great matches all across the board. But it looks like it comes to a close with that. I think that means that ex-girlfriend's team, or I don't know if like as a leader, it just that's the person who's on the name for the top of the team, and I didn't get a team name. So it looks like they closed it out with that. Very impressive. And I believe we're actually on the last block for the evening for the stream tonight. Is that correct?
That's gonna do it. That was a sick crew battle, by the way. I'm looking at the Team B chat right now, and they are popping the fuck off for Uwu and just being so gracious. But yeah, popping off. And I mean, really an amazing crew battle. We had Team B going out to a quick lead. Chia gets absolutely just fucked by the RNG. Like, there's no other way to put it in that match on Dreamland. And then Chia manages to take 7 stocks with her last one. And then Uwu Mystical Girl manages to just go on a tear too. Like, there were really some highs and lows for both teams in this battle.
For sure. I think that's really interesting. A lot of crew battles, you see them kind of like absolutely landslide in one direction. Like, once you see that, like that Chia situation happen, you think, oh, that is it. That's like how this ends. Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
really wasn't. No huge thing that happened defined the crew battle really until the very, very end.
Yeah, it really came down to that ending. I see ex-girlfriend saying that their band their team name is the Hex Girls, like the band from Scooby-Doo. And I also see Shick Shick, one of the Allston boys, saying that there's a Pew Pew interview next over on Allston Melee. So I think that
Whoa.
is our cue to sign off and direct you guys all over to the other stream so that you guys can watch that.
Yeah, because they're gonna be going for the whole weekend. It's a 48-hour-long complete stream, right in the name with the whole name of the tournament and the theme of it, the Allston Millie Bender. So they look like they're gonna be doing a whole bunch of Allston Millie events and interviews and random game night stuff throughout the whole evening. I don't know if they have any other, like, main events that they're trying to do this late. I don't think they're that ambitious. But I'm sure there will be some other Millie stuff, Millie talks, or fun little side events happening for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Guys, if you are like me and your sleep schedule is poisoned by various other things out of your control, then just watch Alston Melee all night long. Or if you're on a different time zone.
All right. Well, that is our official cue. We're going to sign off. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, Zane. You are the real Zane in my heart.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I've been doing it for a year longer than that kid has. He knows what's up.
well, I hope everybody has a great night. Go tune in with the Alston Millie channel on twitch.tv as well. The Alston Millie shop is also open. They have a lot of really cool merch. So please check that out if you want any cool merch too. If you haven't seen it on any like the cards that come between, it all looks really, really cool. So
It's so sick. It's so sick. Cave Lemon's art is amazing.
have a good night.
Bye, guys.